This is one of the best cereal boxes, the most engaging cereal boxes that I've seen in a long while. So
is this a game? Is this, oh, it's like a trivia.
Oh, there's multiple games. There's so many activities. My friends, welcome back to another edition of Let's Get Cereal, the weekly show where I, your host, Alyssa Marino, eat cereal, talk about stuff, and sometimes talk to people. Today, I have a very special guest. You can catch him managing talent on NXT Wednesday nights at 8, 7 Central on the USA Network. It's Malcolm Bivens. Hello, Mr. Bivens.
Hi. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here with me. I know we picked a very exciting cereal for today, so I would love to show our breakfast buddies at home. A drum roll, please. Krave cookie dough.
Yeah. This looks like something that would have me on edge all day in middle school. Just hype nonstop.
We are going to get to that too, because this is definitely, I'm sure, going to give both of us a bit of a sugar rush. So I say we tear right in.
Sorry, I actually jumped ahead of you. I already have mine.
I think it's a testament to your character. You're no nonsense.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I get it.
You know, I do my best.
I'm going to catch up with you.
Oh, that's a fancy bowl.
It is actually a little bit of iridescence. Little, try and be a little fancy, you know?
This is just a plain, regular bowl.
But we said no nonsense, no frills, straight to business.
I need to have Bivens Enterprises put on this. I'll get around to it someday, but that's what's going to bring the cereal up a notch, I think.
It's true. The marketing options are endless. Get spoons with it. I like the way you think, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, milk time. Let's make it a party. So, my friends, and Malcolm Bivens, Krave cookie dough cereal. Let's get cereal. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
It's good.
So, obviously, this is just teeming with cookie dough.
Yes.
I myself am a fan of a good dessert. So I was curious.
Same.
What are some of your favorite junk foods?
My favorite junk foods, I would say probably cupcakes, cookies. I'm not like a candy person. That's just not me. But gum. I am addicted to gum.
Fruity, minty, cinnamon, any flavor?
Bubblegum. Bubblegum is my weakness. It's like a weird stress thing. So always like right before TV, I'll just get like a pack of gum and I'll just chew it. Just nonstop. And for me, it's like a stress reliever.
I feel that. I feel like there are a lot of associations with food and snacks being a comfort. Have you ever had any treacherous situations with bubble blowing?
Of course, I would get in trouble all the time in school. I was one of the, I don't want to say awful, I think I was just misguided people who would put gum underneath their desk. That was me. That was me. So, it's gotten me like a few, suspensions, a few incidents, but, that's in the past. So,
it's, the troubled past of Malcolm Bivens, but it made you who you are, and that's important.
That is true.
It may have gotten some mixed reviews, but I was a really big fan of the Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery Busset Challenge with Dakota Kai.
Thank you.
I think it was genius. What were some of your favorite Saturday morning cartoons when you were growing up?
I didn't really watch a lot of Saturday morning cartoons. Like most of my cartoons were, I would say, Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life. So I think those came on in the evenings. It's been that was 15, 20 years ago. But for me, it was mostly the quote unquote adult cartoons like South Park. I was a big Simpsons fan, not so much anymore. I think it's time to let the Simpsons die, but that's probably for like another episode.
This is where I put up the disclaimer. Malcolm Bivens' views are of Malcolm Bivens and not associated with Let's Get Cereal.
Yeah. Just saying, I had to just slide it in there. Yeah.
So you brought up South Park, and one of the things that I think I remember most about South Park, and I discussed this in a previous episode, was the South Park character maker of like the early days of AOL where you could design your wrestlers.
Yeah.
Tell me that you
Yeah.
made some custom wrestlers for yourself.
I did. I mean, obviously, I was probably the most muscular out of all of the South Park wrestlers that I made, but I would just recreate people, like recreate a Rey Mysterio or like a Triple H or someone like that, like a Booker T. Like that was my thing. Same thing with like No Mercy. I was never a let me make me. Like I would do it occasionally, but I would always recreate someone and basically add whatever super soldier serum that I thought they should have. So, I would add on like 20, 50 pounds of muscle or, make them do, flips and everything else. So yeah, that was
I feel like that's a natural progression into kind of managing as a wrestler, as you make someone the best they can be.
Exactly. So I know talent when I see it because I've been making talent for the past 20 years.
And speaking of sports entertainment, you've had quite the independent career, both in the ring and as a manager before making your way to NXT. And I know many of us, as we said, were big wrestling fans as kids. What were some of your earliest memories of watching wrestling that piqued your interest in it?
I got into wrestling in like a really, I would say, I don't think it was very organic. My brother was a huge wrestling fan. I always hated wrestling. I thought it was pretty dumb. So once he started watching it, it kind of forced me to watch it because we're 9 years apart. And so I started watching. It was around the Attitude Era. So things started to click and make sense because I would be in school and I would hear all these other kids calling each other, candy asses and like jabronis and, cross shopping each other. I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was amusing, but, I didn't know. And so that's what kind of took me down the rabbit hole. And I think the first match that I ever saw was probably the main event of St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It was a steel cage, I think. And yeah, that was the first match that I ever saw.
And I mean, how can you turn back from that? I feel like there's no choice but to move forward.
Yeah, like it was just a wild experience because for the first time I'm watching these guys who they were able to say whatever they wanted, they were able to do whatever they wanted. And it kind of just resonated with me because it was like, oh, like, you can't kind of do that. I mean, not really, but, it kind of opened up a new world as far as entertainment goes. So just like you said, I was hooked ever since then.
And I feel like especially as a kid, there's something that really resonates with the idea of being able to just get away with saying or doing anything you want.
Oh, for sure.
Over on NXT, we've seen that you are very, I'm going to call it enterprising, with finding opportunities for your associate Tyler Rust. So have you always had these ambitious qualities? You touched on it a little bit, but what were you really like as a kid?
I was a very lazy kid. Very lazy. I didn't want to do anything. I mean, I drew. I'm trying to think what else. I ate food and I played video games. That was pretty much it. There was no drive in me whatsoever. I didn't want to do anything. I graduated high school and I was like, oh, what's next? So it was college. And once I got to college, it was weird. Most people, I would say that they slack off in college. For me, it was the opposite. I was like, oh, I enjoy this. And then right after college, I went to grad school. So it kind of just started there. But yeah, I was an awful student in high school. I just didn't care. I think because I knew that nothing in high school mattered. And, I was kind of right in a way. So
I didn't know this about you, but what did you pursue in college and grad school?
In college, I pursued graphic design because I thought I wanted to be a graphic designer. And then my minor was film. And then in grad school, it was performing arts and marketing. So I guess you could say I'm one of the few people who actually I'm doing what I went to school for, because performing arts, film, graphic design, it's pretty much a part of what I do every day. So it's been very helpful.
I love that. And I love that your creativity has kind of shown throughout everything that you've learned and applying it now. We've recently seen a bit of a crossover between the worlds of hip hop and sports entertainment, with Bad Bunny capturing the 24/7 championship and Bow Wow and Soulja Boy being very vocal online with their views of the industry. So I have a two-part question for you.
Okay.
Who in the music industry do you think would make the best opponent, or maybe the most worthy opponent for Tyler Rust? And then second, who do you think would be a great fit in Bivens Enterprises?
I made a joke about before the year ends, Usher would be on
Mm.
205 Live, but I could actually see that. So I think Usher would make a good opponent for Tyler Rust. And also, like, how many people could say that their client beat Usher's ass? I mean, that's something that I could brag about forever. I think I could retire off of that. And as far as someone joining Bivens Enterprises, I'd have to say Rick Ross. He's a he's probably the greatest liar I've ever seen, and I think I would love to have someone with that trait work with me. I think that'd be great because I could be an even better liar, and I think that's something that I'm good at. Not that I'm lying through this, but just lying can kind of help you, get where you want to go in life. Just small white lies, not giant.
100%. I think truth bending,
Yes.
spinning. It's spinning.
Yeah. Just slight exaggeration.
Throughout your social media, you see a lot of references to different pop culture influences. If you could have a dinner party or maybe even a professional business lunch with any three pop culture icons, who would you pick?
Is it alive and dead or just alive? I have to. I just
You
need to clarify, just in case there's a way to bring people back from the dead.
I say in this we can. I say it's
Okay.
your world. You pick.
I would say three people, anyone. I would probably say Malcolm X. I would say Mary J. Blige, and I think who else? And The Godfather. Those three. Because The Godfather is probably an inspiration to most people, especially me. Like, this man got out the game. He retired, and then he owns one of the most successful businesses outside of wrestling. Like, that's just, he's a legend in my opinion. So I would love to just pick his mind.
Absolutely. I think all three of those people have a lot that they can extend and teach and
Yes.
influence even further. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially Mary J. Blige. Like, I would love to know how to sing. It would just be an extra thing on the side. And I would love to have Bivens records. Get some people to sign a bunch of 360 deals. Like, make a bunch of money. I think it'd be fantastic.
Those headlines really write themselves for Bivens Enterprise.
They do.
Different Bivens records. Excuse me. We're talking about a lot of different, potential outlets for Bivens Enterprises. What is next on the horizon for Malcolm Bivens?
I mean, what's next is Tyler Rust getting a championship opportunity. I mean, personally, I think the North American Championship is next. And then obviously after that, the NXT Championship is next. And then maybe after he wins both of those, maybe, Tyler and I will start to tag, we'll go after the NXT Tag Team Championships. The sky is really the limit. But first, it's that North American Championship.
Great place to start. Do you have a message for our breakfast buddies at home?
Yes, I do have a message for all of the Let's Get Cereal fans. One is believe in Bivens. Two is in Rust we trust. And three, watch NXT every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the USA Network.
Beautiful message. Well, my friend, thank you so much for joining me, for enjoying this bowl of cereal. And just a word to the wise, if you check on the back, this is one of the best cereal boxes, the most engaging cereal boxes that I've seen in a long while. So
is this a game? Is this oh, it's like a trivia.
Oh, there's multiple games. There's so many activities. So I hope you have fun with that.
Wow. Thank you. I will revert back to my childhood finishing this. So thank you very much.
And thank you so much, Malcolm. Best of luck to you and to Tyler Rust in your endeavors. And my friends, continue to do your best, to be your best. And we will see you later.